Good almost evening, everybody. It is 4 o'clock, so it's afternoon still. But hello, checking in. Just a quick vid to let you guys know what's going on. So the debacle yesterday, I'm still waiting. Like I said, it'll take 2 business days, so I'm not banking on even hearing from this company. If I do hear from them, till like Wednesday or Friday, and so I'm actually betting, like I said last night, that I'm not going to hear from them at all. It is Sunday. And normally I go to church on Sunday, but my mom got out late last night and I knew she wasn't going to feel like going to church. And after the whole debacle, I just could not sleep. I was frustrated. I ended up going to bed like 2 o'clock, which is highly unusual for me lately. Usually I'm in bed by 12:30, 1 o'clock, because I try to get up at 7:45. So I'm usually in bed early. I don't normally go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's really, really, really unusual for me. I don't like going to bed that late. So it was really unusual for me to go to bed at 2, and I was gonna see, because I actually burned my chin again using that hair remover stuff. I was gonna wake up and see what my chin looked like, and my chin didn't look that great. And I'm like, I'm just tired and exhausted, and I feel bad because my faith is so important to me, and I actually am one of those people who enjoy going to church. I call it my reset button, my weekly reset button. Like, everything that happens to me, anything bad that happens to me that made my week horrible, awful, it doesn't matter. I go to church, I worship, I recenter myself, and I start the week with a clean slate. I forget all the bad stuff that happened to me the previous week, and I just go through the rest. I'm ready to start the week with my usual happy-go-lucky smile on my face and a great attitude. So that is like literally my weekly reset button. And people are like, does it work? I'm like, yes. Because I went to church once on Mackinac Island. I was able to go to St. Anne's, which is a beautiful church. If you ever get the chance to go, St. Anne's is absolutely beautiful. But I went up there and I had been having a horrible few days. Like the day before, I had just been scolded by one of the ladies who works at the hotel, and I was just like literally being scolded. And it was weird when she yelled at me because I was calling her ma'am. I'm like, why can't I call you ma'am? But so I was just feeling awful, and I didn't think I was going to make it to church. I ended up making it. Had to stand outside though. But was able to go to service and heard a really nice sermon. It was very wonderful, and so I went I went to work that night, and I was just happier. I felt better. I felt lighter. It was awesome. It was amazing. That is what going to church does for me. Granted, the effect doesn't last long when you deal with a lot of negative people. Because I'm just the opposite, but like I said, I keep making the joke. I'm empathic, so I feed off of people's emotions. So when lots of people are negative, I'm going to feed off that negativity, and it's going to make me feel awful and horrible. And I don't like feeling like that. I'm not a negative person. Like, literally, I am like Pollyanna brought to life. Like, I refuse to see, like, I try to avoid seeing the negative. I mean, well, at times it's really hard, but I always try to look for a positive, like a silver lining. So, but that it's kind of tough when everybody else around you is negative and they don't get that. But so, like, I was hopeful. And the worst part is that people, because I look young, and then because I have this really fun kind of frivolous attitude, I act like an airhead. People treat me like an airhead, which I don't really mind because I freely admit I'm a spoiled airhead. But then, because I have this really positive attitude, I'm bright and bubbly, people will treat me like I'm a kid. Like, I'm not a kid, I'm older than you. But I don't know, so I missed church day, which is my weekly reset button, but I'm going to do my best to make it through this week without that. I have my Bible, I have my devotions, which I'm doing really good on my year-round one. I'm almost, I think I'm halfway done. I still have I think I have exactly 100 days left, so that's awesome. But, yeah, so relaxing, trying to, wrangle my head around it. I mean, shoes are cute. It's just that they're not my shoes. I mean, I know what the fairy tale could be a reference to. It's just that I don't know for sure. But yeah, so my room is a mess because I'm like, I don't want to clear up. I'll probably clean up before bed. But when my good mix, I got this today. That is one step closer to Michigan's Adventure. That's actually a voucher for their refillable souvenir bottles, which are like these water bottles. They're about like just a little bit bigger than a large They're about the same size or a little bit bigger than a large pop at McDonald's. And they're really awesome because you get them when you get to the park. You buy one at the park and you pay for it, and then the rest of the day you can refill it as many times as you want with any kind of Coke product, and it's free. And then you go back to the park, you take that water bottle with you, and you get $1 refills each time you refill it for the rest of the season. Which we don't do that. We only go one day. So, and my dad likes that. I think my mom likes it too because I have this very weird habit. I don't know when it started, but I will go do things like an amusement park or zoo, and I will not eat or drink. Like, my dad discovered this by accident. Like, we discovered this totally by accident. The first year I went to the park, I don't know if it's parks in general, but I do this a lot. Like, we went to Michigan's Adventure the first year. No, my cousins discovered this. We went to Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. And they, for the life of me, discovered that they could not get me to eat food. Like, we stopped at McDonald's and I ate there. But when we got to the park, they could not get me to eat or drink anything. Like, I had some Dippin' Dots. And I think part of the reason was I had a really loose tooth. But I would have, like, I had some Dippin' Dots and, like, a sandwich or something. But I just did not want to eat. And nobody knew I did that. Fast forward to when I'm an adult, we go to Michigan's Adventure the first year. I do the exact same thing. My dad gets me a Lunchable, gets me drinks, all this stuff. I did not want to eat. I did not feel like eating. I was hungry, but I didn't want to eat anything. And so every year that pattern has continued where I will go to the park and I will pretty much not eat or drink anything. I think last year was the first year, last year and the year before, were like the first 2 years where I actually sat down and had something to eat. Like, the first year I had Bosco breadsticks, which are expensive, but that's all I had. Last year, and I still was not drinking. Like, my dad would give me his pop and I would take like a sip and that would be it. But last year was like the first year that I actually sat down because we'd go outside to have food. I actually sat down and had a real meal, but then again, I was with my cousins and I wanted to set a good example for them, so I actually had a full meal. And then I had, and then I went back in and I had Dippin' Dots. And my dad actually, all of us that day got those refillable water bottles. And my dad noticed that when I had the water bottle, I took it with me everywhere and I was drinking out of it. Except when I went like the Lazy River or something. So my dad quickly realized that, so it quickly came to be a realization that if I had the water bottle, even if it was filled with pop, which I love pop, I'm trying to not drink it as much, I would actually drink. And like, so last year I did it because last year I realized I went to one of my first physician, and she under the healthcare, and she informed me when I told her I had this bad habit of going to like Michigan's Adventure and not eating or drinking while I was there. She went, "That's not good for you." Because I pointed out I would eat before I got to the park because we usually stop somewhere for breakfast. So I'd eat before we get to the park. And then if we stopped somewhere on the way home, I would eat there too. But I would not eat at the park, and it was very weird. And she was like, "Yeah, that's not good for you, especially since the food we were bringing was like sandwiches and stuff, so that's kind of healthy." So she said, "Yeah, you kind of need to start eating when you go to places like that." So I made myself eat last year, and actually I did feel a lot better. I noticed that I did feel when I skipped the meals, I didn't feel that great, and I noticed that after I ate, I felt a lot better. I felt sleepy. I actually think I took a 15-minute nap in the water park. And last year was weird too. I actually brought one of my Star Wars books. I brought Legacy of the Jedi with me. I'm gonna bring it again this year to read. But yeah, so I do feel better when I eat and drink. So I have to do that. So that's one of the reasons I got the voucher. Was because that way I at least know I will be drinking throughout the day. Yeah, so that is awesome and amazing balls. And it's great because at the park the water bottles are like $15 with tax. I was able to order it online through the website and it was only $12.64 with tax and a small fee. So that's awesome. So I just take the voucher and I scan it and go, boop, yep, there you go, water bottle, and then I tell them what I want. I think since we're probably going to get there about 10 o'clock when it opens, I think I'm going to go with the Fuse iced tea, because I'm not going to want pop that early in the morning. And I've discovered I actually like tea. I like the flavored tea. I love the Snapple raspberry tea and the peach mango. I love that tea. And it has to be diet. For some odd reason, I only like the diet Snapple. So I'm going to try the Fuse tea and see if I like that. So I discovered I actually like it's not tea, but it's good. So I really like that. And it makes my mom happy because my mom loves tea. And she was like, oh my gosh, none of my kids like tea. And I'm like, oh, but I do. I like the flavored tea, like the raspberry and stuff. I don't like regular tea. I do not like regular tea. It is too bitter. But the fruit stuff is good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So got the video uploaded today. Yay! My horrible up and down video. This will be posted tomorrow. And then yay! 4th of July. My mom's making a joke that she might call in Tuesday and take 4th of July off. I don't think my mom, since working at Walmart, I don't think has ever had the 4th of July off. And I don't think my dad has it off this year. So that's partly the reason I started watching the Macy's fireworks on TV, was because it was usually my dad my mom and my dad would do it, but when we were younger, it was always like my dad's idea to go find a place to watch the fireworks in Midland, which are cool. But my mom's not really into doing stuff like that, so I mean, it'd be cool, but we'd have to find a spot like far enough away that I'm not freaking out because of the noise. But yeah, so that's part of one of the reasons I started watching it, was because usually my parents had to work 4th of July, so that's kind of sad. It's hard, but what are you gonna do? My mom, this is how my mom makes money, and right now she's supporting all 3 of us once again, because I still have not found a job. But tomorrow is Monday, and I do a application blitz every other week. So I have a couple places I'm going to apply to tomorrow. I hope I get in. I really want a job, especially since I got a book coming out this month, and then at the end of next month it is the Rebels Blu-ray, and I will only get the Blu-ray. And then September 1st is the release date for both the Captain Phasma novel and the Princess Leia novel. So I'm like, ah! So yeah, I need to get a job and then in like September, they're bringing back Force Fridays, which is when they're going to launch all the new merchandise for The Last Jedi, all the new Star Wars merchandise and stuff. So that's going to be like, oh my gosh. Especially if, I don't know, some of the rumors are saying that Obi-Wan's lightsaber is going to make an appearance in The Last Jedi, which would be awesome if it did. But like, this is going to be like, oh my gosh, this is when like all the posters and stuff are going to come out. So I need to get a job because I'm going to need Star Wars stuff, you know? I need it. It's my drug. My name is Caitlin, and I'm addicted to Star Wars. It's like the best drug in the world to be addicted to is Star Wars. So I'm going to get going. I want to watch this show called Love 020, which you guys have probably heard me talk about before. It is an awesome show. It is from mainland China. And before you get all nervous, it's actually this really cool, hip, young show. It's about a girl named Wei Wei, who she's studying. She's one of the few girls at her college in Beijing studying computer sciences, and she wants to be a game designer. And she loves playing this game called Chinese Ghost Story. And she goes to an internet cafe one day where she meets this guy who's the top player on the Beijing server. But she doesn't actually meet him. He comes out and he sees her. And he's like a genius. He has his own tech company and everything. And he just sees her and he's amazed by how fast her fingers are moving as she's playing this game. And so he finds her and they hook up as a couple in the game. And eventually they become a couple in real life. And it's an awesome show, especially for someone who likes online gaming. Technically, the only online game I play is Old Republic. But still, it's a really awesome game. And it's really a really awesome game. Love 020 is a really, really awesome TV series. It was also a movie with the same actors playing Wei Wei. It's really cool. It's like I said, it's very modern, it's very hip because it's about online gaming, and there's a lot of online games out there. Online gaming is this big industry in China, in Japan, and South Korea, so it's really huge over there. And of course, we have games here like Battlefront and Old Republic and World of Warcraft and all these other these big online games. So it's really awesome to see this show. It's based on a book. It's really awesome to see this book and the show come out of China, where we're probably not used to seeing stuff like this. So it's actually really cool. I enjoy it. I love it. Another Chinese drama I am addicted to is 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms, which is absolutely amazing and stunning. I never thought I would like Chinese dramas. I love Japanese dramas. I love Korean dramas. Korean dramas are my favorite, but there are a few Chinese dramas that are absolutely stunning and gorgeous and out of this world. So if you're interested in checking out dramas, I highly recommend starting out with Love 020. If you're into historical stuff, head over to South Korea. Head over to Korea. They have this really beautiful, amazing drama I love so much. It's called Donya. It's really cool, and it's got a really strong female character. So that's what makes it awesome. So I'm going to get going so I can watch some more Love 020. I will check in with you guys later. Stay safe. Lots of love, hugs, and prayers. Love you.